Hey everybody, how's it going? Torsar here with another sports talk video. And as you could see, I want to talk about yesterday's games. They didn't end up being that great. Let's start with the first game because I have more to say about the second one. So, the Chiefs Jaguars game, it was close. The Jaguars did make a game of it, and I don't want to act like it wasn't a good game. It was kind of uneventful in the second half. And as we all know, the major story coming out of the game, unfortunately, is going to be Patrick Mahomes' ankle. Some people might say that that's the only reason the game was close. I don't think that's true at all, because of the time he missed in the second quarter. Chad Henne, when he came in, he took him on a 98-yard touchdown drive. So that's not really a factor. Maybe you could say Mahomes was kind of limited in the second half, which he obviously was, and it was an extremely gutsy performance. But that's not the way you want added intrigue to be on the game, is because someone got hurt. Because now that's going to be the storyline heading into next week. The major storyline is how's his ankle going to hold up. If this had been in the AFC Championship game, it wouldn't have been as big of an issue because he'd have 2 weeks to get it back healthy. Which, if you have, unless you have a severely sprained ankle, and obviously the X-rays were negative, or else they wouldn't have let him back in. That's what he went into the tunnel and into the back to do. He wanted to do it at halftime. They told him no, just you have to go do it now just in case. So again, that's unfortunate that ended up being the way the game became intriguing. And if Kansas City were these like world beaters, just totally demolishing everyone, I think you could make a better case for, yeah, that kept the game close, that injury. But this is what Kansas City does. They keep true to form. If you bet on them and bet on the Kansas City Chiefs, you're probably losing money because they win the vast majority of their games, but they lose the vast majority of point spreads. So maybe the only ones today who are upset, besides Jaguars fans, and maybe even Bengals or Bills fans, because they'd like to play the easier team, are people who just bet on the game. And again, if you bet on the Chiefs, and I don't know what to tell you, just look back. They are just so bad against the point spread. They do enough to win games, and then that's it. So hopefully Patrick Mahomes, he's healthy. Is he going to be 100% next week? Probably not. That's kind of hard. One thing I would like to show you guys is the other thing that came out of this game. I just want to show you Trevor Lawrence's leadership, man. Because this, I thought, this is what he did after the game. All the fans yelling at him, "Go to the locker, you're done. Hit the showers." I mean, they're Kansas City Chiefs fans. What do you expect? Christian Kirk. "Trevor, let me get that towel." These guys just... Oh, man, you gotta love fans sometimes. I think it's great, too, as long as people are keeping it, clean. Not clean, but you know what I mean. There's a difference between jeering and just being completely and totally derogatory, which I think a lot of people are losing that point in the whole Shannon Sharp thing. So I'm not going to play the whole, well, I pretty much already did, but I mean, just amazing leadership there from Trevor Lawrence. He didn't have to do that. A lot of people would have just already been in the showers. Now for that second game. Oh, man. That was just, as a Giants fan, hey, all you could take out of the game, two things. I mean, there's probably more than that, but these are the two things I'm going to take out of it. All right. One, no matter how bad that game was, the Giants were playing with house money. Let's face it. If you had told Giants fans or just NFL fans in general at the beginning of this season the Giants were going to make the playoffs and win one playoff game, as a Giants fan, you would say, I'll take that. And as an NFL fan, you would say, oh, ahead of schedule. Just like maybe you could have said about who's now looking like the best team, again, like they did most of the season with the Eagles, right? This is what the Eagles did last year. They squeaked in. You know, the Giants kind of did it the opposite way, where they were good in the beginning of the year, then kind of slightly backed into the playoffs. They still had to win a couple games at the end of the year. But the Eagles last year, you know, they were okay to start. Didn't look like they were going to make the playoffs, and I think they finished 7-10 to squeak into that last spot, and they got that experience of making the playoffs, getting there, you know, getting the team to just get that gelling experience of smelling the playoff air. And now, I mean, they're in the NFC Championship game. So, you know, it's a tough loss, but this is why I said I don't want to get into the whole are they a team of destiny thing, because let's face it, this Giants team overachieved, whereas that 07 team, most of the regular season, they underachieved. That was a really good team. The next year, they were considered, the year after the 07 championship in 08, they were widely considered, the best team in the NFL before Plaxico Burress went and lost his mind in a nightclub by shooting himself in the leg. And I don't think there's going to be anyone who's going to say that the Giants are the best team in the league next year. You know, talent-wise, roster-wise, I mean, they're just, on paper, they're just not one of the more talented rosters. Whereas that Giants team had an amazing defense, very solid offensive play. They were just an all-around great team, and they underachieved in the regular season. So hopefully we could take this experience. It leaves a sour taste in the team's mouth. And, you know, not to say that they need any extra incentive to work harder in the postseason, but hey, you know, sometimes people do. That's why there's post Super Bowl hangovers, even for the losing team. You see it very often, which is why those Patriots teams were just amazing, because they didn't win or lose in the Super Bowl. It didn't seem to affect them the next year, and that's a large part due to coaching and the leadership on the team. The Eagles, I think Jalen Hurts just showed that, you know, he probably won't win it because of the games he missed, but in my mind, he was the NFL MVP this season. Because he showed you how good the team was while he was playing and healthy this year. They were the best team in the NFL. And when he went out, they had a significant drop-off, not just in offense, but also on the defensive side of the ball, which shows you for Jalen Hurts, it's not just a skill thing. They severely lacked his leadership out on the field, and even just the defense having the confidence that, hey, when we get off the field, this guy's not going to go 3 and out and have us right back on the field. I don't know. I can't speak to it. I'm not a player. I never was a player, but there's just something to it, and it was just so obvious, especially, you know, watching last night's game. That's all I could think of was, yep, this is the Eagles team you saw most of the year until Hurts got injured. They're back. I think right now, besides Patrick Mahomes' ankle, you'd probably have to say that it's looking like it might be, Chiefs versus Eagles. We'll see who wins the games today. Hopefully they're a little bit better. They are set up to be better because those were the closer point spreads. Obviously the Chiefs game, the Eagles game, they were touchdown plus favorites. These games, they're both within a one possession spread. Bills, Bengals, you guys all know the extra incentive or the extra, air behind that game due to the last time they played. And then obviously the Cowboys and 49ers, that's just an all-time classic matchup. They played, I think, 9 times in the postseason. They were the teams in the 90s going back and forth. So anyway, as usual, let me know what you guys think. I would like to say, if anyone's watched this far, 1, thank you. 2, after the NFL ends, I'm going to be talking about the NBA, but there's obviously going to be somewhat of a lack of content to do with sports. If I'm trying to make a video every day, I got to come up with something. I like the whole debate thing. I love Undisputed. I love First Take. I love going back and forth. I'll think of something on my own, but if anyone has anything, any sort of all-time debate, like I just did the LeBron versus Jordan thing, if there's something you want to see, just let me know in the comments. Who's the greatest team of all time, who's the, whatever the debate is. If you could think of something, I'd be more than happy. And any comment, please, guys, let me know. Any improvements, anything you want to see, anything you think I should work on. I like the constructive criticism. I don't want to be that jerk that goes around with a piece of food in his teeth all day and no one tells him, I'd rather be told, hey, you got a piece of food in your teeth. And thank the person who did it. Because, like I said, I don't want to go around being that guy all day. But until the next one, guys, stay healthy and peace.